Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen. I'm a certified weight loss and nutrition coach, and I'm here today to talk to you about 15 health foods that are really junk food in disguise. Some of these may come as quite the surprise. So if you're excited for today's video, please give it a big, huge thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're not yet subscribed, I'd love to have you. Hit the little subscribe button and of course the bell next to it so you're notified whenever I upload new videos. I do upload every Tuesday and Thursday, so you don't want to miss out. Check out the description box down below where you're going to find my custom to you 2021 calendar. Track your monthly goals, your water, your food, your self-care, and even your workout. Set some goals and use the calendar to help you achieve them. It's not too late to pick it up. We're at the beginning of the month, so head on over to my nutrition coaching website and grab your 2021 calendar. And while you're there, check out my nutrition coaching. I do offer personalized macro and calorie calculation, individualized to you to help you reach your goals. By the way, this is essential to weight loss, and also 30 and 60-minute one-on-one sessions. If you want a little bit of extra support, I would love to help you. So definitely check those out. Also in the description box are the links and discount codes to all of my very favorite healthy things. So we have some healthy foods that are really junk food to discuss. So let's do it. Preface this video with no food is bad or good, but there are some foods that are a little more healthy for you than others. Unhealthy foods play a primary role in being overweight or obese. They also play a role in developing chronic health conditions such as type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and more. Surprisingly, this list of foods a lot of people consider to be healthy when really they're foods that you should limit or avoid. So here are the top 15 foods that are really junk food in disguise. Number one is processed low fat or fat-free foods. So anytime you see light, low fat, or fat-free on a label, maybe you should take a closer look. The war on saturated fat could be considered one of the most misguided myths in the nutrition industry. It was based solely on weak evidence, and now it has been completely debunked, and it is so essential to have healthy fat as part of your diet. The problem with low fat or fat-free food is it really truly doesn't taste good. So food manufacturers have to add chemicals and additives to the food to make it taste good. Generally, this is in the form of sugar. So they will add sugar to the low fat or fat-free food to make it taste good. And remember, they're not claiming low sugar, they're simply claiming low fat or fat-free. Saturated fat is harmless, but excess sugar is very, very harmful in the long term. Just remember, low fat, fat-free generally means highly processed, and you should really take a good hard look at the ingredient label before adding it to your cart. Number two is most commercial salad dressings. These are the dressings you buy in the bottle. Reality is vegetables are incredibly healthy, but the other piece of that reality is they really don't taste that great on their own. That's why so many people add salad dressing to salads to make it taste a little bit better. But many of these bottled salad dressings are loaded with unhealthy ingredients, unhealthy oils, sugar, and trans fats, along with artificial flavors and chemicals. Just make sure you check the ingredient label, and better yet, make your own salad dressing at home. It's super, super easy. And again, you control what goes into that dressing. Number three are fruit juices, AKA basically sugar. A lot of people think fruit juice is healthy because it comes from fruit, right? Not necessarily. Honestly, a lot of the fruit juices you find in the grocery store don't actually have any fruit in them at all, just chemicals. So basically you're consuming sugar water that tastes like fruit. Not drinking 100% fruit juice, you're not making the best choice. Fruit juice is like fruit, but with all the good stuff taken out, like the fiber. The main thing left from the fruit when making it into juice is sugar. In fact, fruit juice contains almost the same amount of sugar as a Coke or a Pepsi. Number four is heart healthy whole wheat. Most whole wheat products on the market aren't even actually made from whole wheat. The grains have been pulverized into a very fine flour, which spikes your blood sugar just like its white flour counterparts. In fact, whole wheat bread has the similar effect on the glycemic index, or the GI index, as white bread. There are also studies showing that the modern wheat bread can contribute to inflammation and increase cholesterol levels. So when you're choosing a bread, again, look at the ingredient label. That's kind of the theme of today's video is check your ingredient label. Make sure there's no added fillers or sugars to that bread. Number 5 is cholesterol lowering, this word. I'm not gonna pronounce it right, so I'm just gonna put it here on the screen for you. These are the plant versions of cholesterol. They are often added to processed foods and then marketed as cholesterol lowering. And they're often claimed to even help prevent heart disease. However, studies have shown that despite lowering cholesterol levels, they actually have negative effects on your cardiovascular system and can even contribute to heart disease. Number 6 is margarine. Butter's always been known as bad because it has saturated fat, but to be honest with you, any margarine on the market is far worse than butter. Back in the day, margarine used to be loaded with trans fat. Now, food manufacturers have gotten smart as times went on and it has either eliminated or severely reduced the amount of trans fat in margarine. But the reality is people who replace butter with margarine are far more likely to die of heart disease related issues. If you want to improve your health, try eating butter, preferably grass-fed, and avoid margarine at all costs. Number 7 are sports drinks, the Gatorades and Powerades of the world. These were designed with athletes in mind. They contain electrolytes, which helps replenish the body after vigorous exercise. However, most people don't need to be consuming sports drinks. These have often been considered less bad than soda, but in reality, they can contain just as much, if not more, added sugar. If you want to stay hydrated and replenish your body, just make sure you're consuming the good old-fashioned water. Number 8 is low-carb junk foods. I don't know how many times I've watched low-carb and keto YouTubers who consume so much junk food, it completely blows my mind. Although low-carb is an effective way to lose weight, it means eating natural low-carb foods, not a lot of the processed junk food. You're gonna see low-carb and keto on the packages of things. When you see that, chances are these should be avoided. Things like the Atkins bars. If you take a look at the ingredient labels of a lot of these keto and low carb foods, you're not even gonna see real food. You're going to see chemicals and artificial sweeteners. These can be consumed occasionally without really having a lot of detriment to your body, but the truth of the matter is they don't nourish your body, they don't keep you full and satisfied, and a lot of the ingredients in these foods, your body doesn't really know what to do with or process effectively. So if you're following a low carb or keto diet, stick with real food. Number 9 is agave nectar, the new sugar. So because people think sugar is bad, and there are a lot of harmful effects when it comes to sugar, they're looking for substitutions, and agave seems to be what a lot of food manufacturers and individuals lean towards. The problem with agave is it's not any better than regular sugar, and in fact, in some cases, it's worse. One of the main problems with sugar is its excessive amount of fructose. Sugar is about 50% fructose and 55% high fructose corn syrup, but agave contains 70 to 90%, so 25% or more than regular sugar. Therefore, gram for gram, agave is even worse than sugar. Natural doesn't always equate to healthy. Number 10 are vegan junk foods. This kind of goes hand in hand with low carb or keto junk foods. Vegan diets are all the rage these days due to ethical, environmental concerns. However, you often see vegan diets being promoted for health. There are many processed vegan foods out on the market that vegans will use in replacement of real food. Vegan bacon is one example. But it's important to keep in mind that a lot of these foods, like the low carb or keto foods, are extremely highly processed. So pay extra special attention to the ingredient label and make sure that the majority of your diet comes from real food. Number 11 is brown rice syrup. Now this is similar to agave. Brown rice syrup is also known as rice malt syrup and has been known to be considered a healthy alternative. It's made from exposing rice to enzymes which breaks it down into simple sugars. Brown rice syrup contains no fructose, just glucose. The absence of refined fructose is great, but on the glycemic index or the GI index, brown rice syrup rates at a 98, which means that the glucose levels in your blood when consuming brown rice syrup spike very quickly. It's also highly processed and refined and contains virtually no nutrients. In other words, it's considered empty calories. Some concerns have also been raised about the arsenic contained in brown rice syrup, which is another reason to be overly cautious when consuming foods that contain brown rice syrup. There are some other better sweetener alternatives out there, such as xylitol, erythritol, and stevia. Number 12 is processed organic foods. Unfortunately, the word organic has become a buzzword when it comes to marketing. Food manufacturers have found tons of ways to add organic to the food label to make you think that what you're buying is healthy. This includes ingredients like 100% organic raw cane sugar, which is the same exact thing as sugar. The reality is the difference between the organic processed food and the non-organic processed food is nothing. It's virtually the entire same thing. You're just paying a heftier price tag because it has the word organic on the label. Number 13 is vegetable oil or highly refined oils. I have mentioned time and time again on this channel, on my jennswwjourney journey. I'll put that right here in case you want another YouTube channel to follow, to really be mindful of what oils you're putting in your body. It's so important to eat healthy, natural fats like butter, avocado oil, and olive oil, and avoid these heavily refined and processed oils. Canola oil, soybean oil, vegetable oil, and make sure you're consuming all oils, including the healthy ones, in moderation. Number 14 is gluten-free junk foods. We can't forget about the marketing ploys that come along with gluten-free. In a 2013 survey, 1/3 of the United States is actively trying to go gluten-free. Experts believe that this is unnecessary. Now, don't get me wrong, there are individuals who suffer from medical conditions like celiac disease that need to be gluten-free, but because it's become a buzzword, traditional Americans are gravitating towards a gluten-free diet. A lot of these gluten-free foods are very highly processed and are often made with refined starches that can really contribute to a huge spike in your blood sugar. Try to choose foods that are naturally gluten-free, like those derived from plants and animals, not gluten-free processed foods, because remember, gluten-free junk food is still junk food. And number 15 is most processed breakfast cereals. Many breakfast cereals are marketed towards children, which is a little bit disturbing because a lot of the ingredients in traditional processed breakfast cereals are absolutely terrible for us to be consuming, more or less our children. You'll see things like whole grains and low fat on the front of cereal boxes, but again, it's important to check the ingredient label because a lot of these cereals are loaded with sugar. When you're looking at the ingredient label of cereal, you want to look for 3 things: refined grains, sugar, artificial chemicals, or the word natural flavors. Because if you didn't know, natural flavors are artificial flavors. I did an entire video on this. I'll make sure I link it down below for you. So watch your ingredient labels when you're picking cereals for both you and your family. And remember that truly 100% healthy foods are made from one single ingredient. Real food doesn't need an ingredient list because the food is the ingredient list. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and it kind of helped shed a little bit of light on what to look for when you're doing your next grocery shopping trip. Just remember that healthy food, low fat food, highly processed food isn't really healthy. I think the big takeaway today is to really take a look at your ingredient label. The least amount of ingredients, the better. So if you enjoyed today's video, give it a big, huge thumbs up. And don't forget, if you're new or you're not yet subscribed, join my community and subscribe. I'd love to have you. Make sure you pick up your 2021 calendar and check out the nutrition coaching options down in the description box. Links and discount codes to my favorite healthy things are also down there. So check some of them out. Try some new things out to help you along your healthy lifestyle journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.